Good day, my crafty friends, and welcome to Miss T's Crafty Corner. You guessed it, I'm Miss T. Well, it's almost fall. There's coolness in the air, and I love everything about fall. Look at these beautiful prints. On today, we're going to make something that's oh so lovely, and I can't wait to show it to you. But let's start with our supply list first. For today's project, we will use the following. You will need a total of 5 pieces of 12 by 12 decorative cardstock. One piece can be a single piece, 2 pieces of the same print, and another 2 pieces of the same print. Isn't this just beautiful? Look at that. The leaves are falling, the pumpkins, and it's actually two-sided. Isn't that pretty? But we will be using this side for our project on today. You will need 1 piece of chipboard. This is actually from a cardboard box that measures 3 by 7/8 by 11 by 7/8. We will embellish our project with a piece of ephemera. I will be using 4 brads and then my usual supplies. We will also use a small piece of twine on today. I know you're probably wondering, what are we going to make? I'll be right back. You've heard the saying, everything's bigger in Texas. Well, on today, everything is bigger on Miss T's Crafty Corner. Look at this bag. It is just beautiful. This bag measures 9 by 12 and is 4 inches deep. Look at that. It has a chipboard bottom. The bag bottom is secured. I've got a few things I'm going to put in here just to show you how sturdy this bag is. I've got some of my hand cream, and I've got this beautiful Bath and Body Works candle. I'm just going to set it in here for you, and then I'm going to pick it up. I just wanted to show you all the sturdiness of the bag. So I'm going to take these back out, and we're going to have a good time making this bag. But isn't this just beautiful? Look at that fall print, getting us ready. And I've got a piece of twine here that we'll also be using. Every year I fall for pumpkins, bonfires, s'mores, autumn leaves, and you. This is just adorable, and we're going to make it. Let's get started. We will start with these 2 pieces. This will be the front and the back of our bag. And because there is a print here, what we're going to do, we're going to turn each sheet counterclockwise. I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to score this piece at 3. We will do the same thing on our second piece. We're going to score at 3. Let's lay those to the side. Now we will bring in these 2 pieces. The first thing we're going to do with this piece is we're going to score at 1, rotate to the opposite side, and score at 2. We're going to trim this down to 6, and you want to make sure, let me turn this over so you can see it. You want to make sure that your score marks are here and here. So we're trimming this to 6, and we have 2 pieces. We're going to switch back over to the scoring side, and now on the 6-inch side, we want to score at 1. You can go over to 5 and score at 5. We're going to do that on our second sheet as well. On the 6-inch side, score at 1 and score at 5. Let's put our scoreboard away for now. I've brought these pieces back in. We're going to take these 2 pieces, and where we have the score mark on the 3, We're going to fold and lightly burnish. We don't want to tear our paper, so we have folded and burnished both of these. We will bring back in these two pieces. We're going to turn them over, fold, and burnish all of these score marks. On this piece, we're going to completely remove this and completely remove this, and we're going to do a slight diagonal cut on both of these pieces. So I'm going to come in up here, and I'm just going to go ahead and do my angle cut. Come in on this piece and do my angle cut here. We're going to do that on both pieces. And now that I'm looking at it, let's go ahead and remove these two outer flaps as well. So we're going to remove these. So we're going to remove this. So we're going to remove this. And we're removing this flap. So we're removing both of those flaps on both pieces. And now we can glue these flaps down. So we're going to glue these flaps down. And I do see where on this one I could remove just a sliver right there. So we're going to glue both of those flaps under. So this is what you have so far. You have these two pieces that look like that. And I wanted to do this in stages. I didn't want to have you do everything at one time. So what we're going to do at this point, we're going to take one of these, and this is how it's going to fit. Let me show you sideways. It's going to fit directly inside of that. So I'm going to lay this back down. I'm going to bring back in my glue and a paper towel. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place glue here, get it to the edge. And where we had a little piece left over that we cut, I'm going to use that piece and work that glue. So now I'm going to bring this piece back in. So I'm going to line it up here. And because it's glue, we know we have wiggle room. I've got that matched up, and I'm just going to work in that glue, turn it over, and work in that glue. Going to do the same thing on this side. Going to bring this piece back in, add my glue, get it on the edge so that it's going to be working on the edge. Then I'm going to take this piece and match it up here, starting at the top. And I've got that matched up. I'm going to open it up and work in that glue. Flip it over. Aren't these prints beautiful together? So this is what you should have so far. You should have these two pieces. Now we're going to turn this over. We're going to take this piece of our paper. We're going to add glue to this flap. Move it around. Bring this piece in. And match this up from the top down. So let me get this matched. I'm actually going to fold it that way. This could be what is called a flat bag also. You could make some and save it for later. I'm going to open the inside and work the glue. Then we're going to bring in this side, do the same thing. We're going to add our glue. I hope you all are doing well, and I just want to thank you so much for choosing to craft with me on today. To the many of you that are watching here in the U.S. and abroad, thank you so much. Then we're going to bring this piece up, do the same thing. We're going to match up our corner, lay this back down, give it a good burnish. And like I always say, if you have an easier way to do this, feel free to do it. So now that we have the frame for our bag, as you can see, we're going to fold these two over and these two over. And that's going to give us great reinforcement. We're not going to cut any of this. So I'm going to bring in my glue, fold those back. I'm going to add glue on my flaps, both. Add glue here. Go ahead and add glue to one of these. And I'm going to try to get that glue to the edge of those flaps. And then what we're going to do, we're going to lay this over. We're going to add glue here. Then we're going to bring this one in to match, and that's looking good. So now I'm going to flip it back over. I'm going to go in with my ruler and give it a good burnishing so that that glue will begin to stick. Flip it back over. We've got the frame. So what we're going to do now, we'll bring back in our scoreboard. I'm going to take the second piece of this print. We're going to cut two 2-inch strips. So move it over to 10 and cut. Move it over to 8 and cut. Then we're going to move it over to 6 and 1/8. 6 and 1/8. And we're going to cut. So we're going to make a score mark on the piece that we just cut at 6 and 1/8. We're going to score at 1. This is on the 6 by 1/8. We're going to score at 1. Rotate to the opposite side and score at 1 again. That's all you're going to do with this piece. These two pieces that are 2 by 12 on the 2-inch side, we're going to score at 1 on both pieces on the 2-inch side. Score at 1 again. We're going to put our scoreboard away for now. We're going to fold and burnish all of our score marks. It's some very beautiful paper. So now that we've done that, this piece is going to go here. This piece is going to go here. This piece is going to go here. Let me show you. So this piece is going to go here. So we're getting ready to glue all of this down. We'll start with our top pieces. We're going to add glue here, both sides. Try to get it toward the edges so that when you fold it over, it really connects on the edges. So I've got my glue here. I'm going to bring this up. Let me lay it forward for you to see. And we're just going to bring this in, add it here. That's the top of that side of our bag. I'm going to lay it down and work in that glue. Going to lift it back up. Do the same thing on this side. I'm going to fold that one over, work in the glue. And isn't this nice? Look at this. So we've got the top. We did the 1 inch here. It matches. If you can see, it looks like it's a continuation, the 1 inch. So now we're going to bring in our bottom piece. I'm going to add my glue all in the middle as well. And on both sides of my ends. Trying to get it to the edge. Now that I've got my glue on, I'm going to take this piece, lay it down here, match up my ends. I'm going to go in with my ruler and work in the glue. This is a really easy bag to make, you all. I really had fun making this bag. Plan to make many more. I'm thinking about a football themed bag, definitely Christmas, but all things fall. Find your favorite paper and make the bag of your choice. Now we have the bottom that's really reinforced. So now we want to bring in this piece that measures 3 7/8, 11 7/8. We're going to bring our scoreboard in again. We're bringing our scoreboard in. Now we want to bring this piece in. We're going to trim this piece. Let me lift my bag up. Let's trim this piece 3 7/8 by 11 7/8. And this should match up to this. And it does pretty good. So that's going to be for the inside liner. I'm going to lay that there for a second. Now we're going to trim off 2 pieces at 1 1/2. So 2 pieces at 1 1/2. We're going to trim this piece, the remaining piece, down to about 8. And let's cut us 2 1-inch strips to cover our brad. A 1-inch strip there and a 1-inch strip here. So this is what we should have. We want a piece that measures 3 7/8 by 11 7/8. We want 2 pieces that measure 1 1/2 by 12. We want 2 pieces that measure 1 inch by 8. And I think I'm going to use this one. So I'm just going to plate the piece in and just trim me out a piece from the scrap. We want to take these 2 pieces that measure 1 1/2 by 12. And on the 1 1/2 side, we're going to score at 3/4 on both pieces. Both pieces at 3/4. Now we are finished with our scoreboard. Thank you so much for your patience. So now we can finish assembling our bag. I'm going to place some glue along the edges of this and just lay it down on this piece and just work in the glue. Then I'm going to take a little bit of glue, add it along the back side, and we're going to place this facing this way inside of our bag for the bottom. You hear that sound? I'm just working it in. Look at the bottom of that. Let me turn it for you to see. Look at the bottom of that. So now we've got that in. We've got the bottom of our bag. I'm going to bring these 2 pieces in. This is for our handle. I'm going to lay my glue down. Bring this up. And now I'm going to go back and forth with my paper towel to get that glue going in all the different directions. Bone folder and give it a curl. And that's handle number 1. I'll do the same with this one. If during your fold over you did get some little extra, if you don't like that white showing, you can always go back in and trim some of it away. So I'm just going to remove some of it. Might not get it all, but I'm going to remove some of it. So now we have our two handles. I'm going to bring back in my bag. I'm going to bring back in my Cricut piercer that I like to use. Be careful when making your holes. Hold your bag because you don't want your bag to give and possibly tear while you're trying to make your holes. And you gauge where you want them to be. And I'm going to put those there. Turn this one over, put one here, and put one here. So I've got my holes in my bag. Now I'm going to put holes in my handle, about a ½ inch up, or a little bit more. Put those up. My hole there, and my hole there. I'm going to bring back in my caddy, and I'm going to use my brads. I've got 4 brads here. Let me get them out. We're going to turn our handle like this. I'm going to put the handle on the inside. Put it in. Fan out my 2-pronged brad. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to put the brad in from the outside, bring it through, and fan it out. Isn't that cute? Look at that. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Bring in our second handle, place the brad in, place it in, and fan it out. Bring this piece around, and I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. Bring the second brad around, place it in, put it in, and fan it out. So when we have our handles in, this is what it's going to look like. Straighten these handles up. Okay. Now, we want to take some glue. See right here? See right here where it's opening up? So what we're going to do, we're going to take some glue, and we're going to glue this so that it stays from the top down. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue. I put some glue here. I'm going to rub it around. Then I'm going to bring this up for a hold. I want it to stick. I'm going to wipe that off, but now I'm going to bring in my clamps, and I'm going to clamp this down so that it'll stick. We're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to place some glue. Get the shape that I want for my handle. Clean that up a little bit. Bring in my clamps and clamp it down. And these are clamps that I got from the Dollar Tree here in the US. So I'm going to turn it over and do the exact same thing. So I'm going to let this sit for a while, and I'll be back. Okay, my crafty friends, I'm back, and look at that. See how there's no pulling away now at the top? So now we're going to cover our brad. See how they're showing? I'm going to place some glue on these and place them over the brad. I tell you, my glue has gotten a great workout today. And I'm going to take this and just lay it here to where it's covering the brad and also the bottom paper of the handle. I'll work in my glue and I'll show you what I'm doing. Clean that up. So let me show you what I just did. So I covered the brad. And I did have a slight little tear where I put the clamp. So be Careful if you're using clamps where you put your clamp. So I'm going to turn this over and cover these brads. Going to do the same thing, laying that down right here on top of the brad. Let you see that one as I'm doing it. Then we want to go back and work in the glue. So now that that's done, we're almost finished with our bag. We've got our handles on. We've got our bottom on. We've got the reinforcements on the side. We've got our piece in the bottom for stability. This is really cute. So one of the last things we're going to do, I'm going to bring in my twine, and I'm going to cut a piece about a bit more than 12. So I'm going to cut a piece of my twine. I'm going to bring in this piece, and I'm going to lay this here. This is the 3x3. I'm going to lay this here so that this piece shows on the back. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to this. I think I've almost used a whole container of glue today. To lay this down. And it doesn't matter that it's diagonal because I'm going to trim it out. So I'm going to trim this out. Okay, so I just trimmed that out a little bit. I think you call that a fussy cut. I just did a little fussy cut on this. Let you see what I'm doing. Pierce a hole there. Then I'm going to take my piece of twine that I cut, fold it in half, run it through the hole, starting at the back. Pull it through the back like this, then run it back through here and pull it together. So then after I bring it through, I'm just going to tie a little knot here. And I'm just playing with this. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. I'm going to tie a little knot there for dangle. Then I'm going to bring it back to the bag. Wrap it around. And just tie a little bow off to the side. Let's see how that works. If we tie a little bow off to the side. Let me bring that down for you to see. And then I'm just going to tie a little bow here. Oh, isn't that cute? Look at that. That's just cute. You know me, I have to give my signature look a little piece of bling. So I've added a little piece of bling. Autumn leaves and pumpkin please. Let's take a look at this bag again. I am so excited. It turned out so good. This bag is 9 by 12 and 4 inches deep. And I hope that you were able to follow along with me and that you can go back and because of the instructions that I gave, you too can make this beautiful bag. And don't forget, we tested out the other one, and I'm going to test out this one. I'm going to put my hand cream and this heavy candle in. But like I said, if you do something like that, you want to secure the bottom, but I just want you to see that it can handle it. I love it. This would be great for a scarf or a throw or a stuffed animal if you were doing a child's print. Let me bring the first one back in. So easy to make. I really had a great time making these bags. Okay, my crafty friends, I hope you have enjoyed today's video, and to the many of you that have subscribed to my channel, I just want to say thank you. If you're considering subscribing, go ahead and hit that button, and also hit the notification bell so you'll know when I'm uploading a video. As always, remember, it's not how you start, but how you finish. I'm Miss T, and thank you for choosing to craft with me.